Hi guys, my name is Nthabiseng Mabuya, and I'll be sharing basically my story, the academic journey, and I hope that it is going to be inspiring and encouraging to the next person aspiring to be a CASA. I have been getting quite a number of requests to actually make videos like this. I guess that I actually challenged myself now, and I put myself out there. So I'm looking forward to doing the series of how to be a CASA, as well as take you through tips on how to be successful in your board exams, be successful in qualifying, at the end of the day as a CASA. So I'm going to start basically with telling you about my journey. It has been quite a rough one, and I'm a child of God, a firm believer in God, and I truly believe that when God said, the weapon will not prosper, he meant it, because God always has our back. But then remember also that he did not say the weapons will not form. So my journey basically started when I was 16. I'm going to go back there. And 16, I went through trials and tribulations, being diagnosed with severe asthma, being diagnosed with a condition called focal dystonia on my right hand. So basically this condition attacked my nerves and weakened my hands. Every time that I would write for long periods of time, I would literally have to carry, my hand, and it was getting too much. And fast forward, I was trying to consult with a lot of doctors, a lot of specialists, and they didn't know what was actually wrong, and we couldn't get any answers. So I enjoyed a lot of bullying because of that, because I was in and out of hospital, and most of my peers in high school were basically saying I should be homeschooled, I'm not normal, I have a disability, all those things. But then God gifted me with knowledge, and that's one thing I truly appreciate. And I remember telling my parents that, listen, in matric, come hell or high waters, I am going to be there. I wanted to be there, at the top, being the dark scholar. And I remember telling my parents that I refuse, to let this disability or the sickness that we do not know, get the better of me. And God was faithful. God was faithful. God pulled me through, and I managed to matriculate. At the top of my class, I was the dark scholar of Sano Park High School in 2017. And I matriculated with 7 distinctions. So moving forward, I went to varsity. I was privileged enough to be granted the Tutuga bursary, and they basically paid for everything. So if you are an accounting student, guys, you can never go wrong with Tutuga. Please apply, because they will literally pay for everything. To this day, my parents have not even paid a single cent, be it the res, be it allowance, be it textbooks, be it anything. My parents did not pay for a cent, and it was my gift to them to work hard in order to give them that break. So I got to varsity, but then I had a passion of helping other people, and I had a passion of being a tutor, because even in my matric year, I was a mentor to my fellow peers, in economics and maths and business. That was just me. So I decided to start a foundation. This foundation was basically a foundation for mentorship, for tutoring, anything related to that. And I basically volunteered at Tutuga to be a Tutuga mentor, volunteered any chance I get to help someone else, whether it is at UJ or somewhere else. So fast forward, I get to first year. I was studying Bachelor of Accounting at the University of Johannesburg, and with the marks I was getting, I was very shocked. People are saying that BAcc is hard, BAcc is yay. I didn't understand, because I was fortunate enough to be awarded one of the top achievers, at UJ, and I was recognized into the Eugenius Club. So I said, okay, maybe I got the CA thing, got to second year. Second year was a lot. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Second year was a mess. I was just trying to sort myself out. I was trying to figure out the modules, because now you branch into your majors. You get a taste of what you're gonna do in your final year, and it was just a lot. But by God's grace, he carried me, Shem. I went from like being high up there to just being average and failing here and there. But God was faithful, to carry me through second year. So we got to third year. Third year is 2020. So throughout my academic journey in varsity, I was still suffering from this focal dystonia. And I was going through like physiotherapy, but then in 2020, I was just in agony and I couldn't handle the pain. So luckily we got in contact with a neurosurgeon, and they finally discovered what was wrong, and they discovered that I needed surgery. So I was in January 2020, I was scheduled for surgery, and by the grace of God, that went well. And I was fine. My hand was recovering well. And then we moved to March, when it was COVID, and our worlds were just, turned upside down. COVID was fine. We had to go home. So I was living at Res at that time. So we had to go home. We had a decision whether to stay at school or to go home. But if you stayed, you can never go home. If you went home, you can never come back. So I decided I need to be with my family. So I went back to my family. We enjoyed, the COVID times, making TikToks together, making memories basically. And then it was time to go back, because they had eased the restrictions, and we were allowed to go back to school. So we went back roughly around July, and my birthday came, we celebrated. I was turning 21 at that time, and unfortunately a week after that, 2 weeks after that, my dad had passed away. And I had lost the pillar. I had lost someone who supported me, someone who was my biggest cheerleader, someone who, listen, this person, Gary, he was doing CA, with me. He was on that journey. And it was heartbreaking. And he had just turned 50 on the 9th of September. And he passed away on the 13th of September, like literally a week after his birthday. And my world crumbled, because now I'm doing third year. I have to pass. I'm on Tutuga. I'm thinking I can't fail. If I fail, who's gonna find me? I'm thinking I have to do this for my dad. I can't lose it now. And literally a day after the funeral, I literally had to go back, to go write the sick test, because I did not want to let him down. I did not want to let myself down. And that I turned that hurt, that pain that I felt, that grief, into motivation, because in October I had to go write the final exam. And it was a lot. Honestly, I don't remember to this day what we wrote about. I don't remember anything. I was blank. I had anxiety attacks. I was depressed. I was on autopilot. But then I knew there and then that, listen, Hope, you need to get, everything together, because right now you need to make your dad proud. That was all I could think about. And by the grace of God, he came through for me. Listen, Jeremiah 29 verse 11, those plans that God has for you, those plans that God refers to, they never harm you. Yes, you may be bruised along the way. Yes, you may be hurt along the way, but God is literally carrying you. He never gives you something that you can't handle. And as painful as it was, I had to trust his word. I had to trust his will over my life. And I passed third year. And then now we went to CTA. CTA was a mess. I'm not even gonna lie. I failed the whole year. We had 4 modules. I was failing 2. Like never a test above 50. And it was always the 2 major ones. You know, auditing and accounting, they like the core of CA. So I had been failing 2 of them, and I remember telling my mom that it's tough. And yeah, if I have to do this again, I'll do it again, because luckily with Tutuga you can repeat CTA, not willingly, obviously you really have to fail. But I remember I had such a beautiful encounter. I was crying and I told God that, listen, I can't repeat this. I want to succeed. And through the depression, through the anger, through the confusion, through the grief, I had to search deep down inside of me and just cry before God and tell him all my heart's desires, because I honestly couldn't handle it. I was on the point of giving up, to say, listen, we try again next year, Sham. But something inside of me said, rise up, baby girl, rise up and listen. Take that mantle, because this is your season. So I rised up and I honestly just said, you know what, God, I'm going into that final paper, CTA, and I'm giving it to you, Shem. I'm dedicating these exams to you, because my strength is not going to be able to carry me. And literally, God guided me. Like, when I say the presence of God was with me in those papers, I really mean it. I prayed before going into that exam, and I'm like, God, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I need you. You need to be there with me in the room. You need to be there with me when I'm having a panic attack. Like, take over. And he did. And he was, guys, his grace is sufficient. He literally carried me, and I passed my CTA in 2021 on first attempt. So the next year we are working now, you know, our first firm, we're becoming corporate girlies, and it was tough because now, remember, I hadn't grieved properly for my dad, and I missed him a great deal, because he was excited to see me work. He was excited, you know, to actually take me on my first day, and I knew that the person who was there for me, you know, couldn't actually do that. But I doubted it. So 2022, when I was working, you have to write a board exam after you complete CTA. So I wrote my first psycho board exam, and yeah, I passed. And then in 2022, the same year, I had an opportunity to be seconded to another firm. And when I went to that firm, I loved it. So I decided for my training contract, I'm going to transfer to that firm. And those of you who know me, you know which firm I'm talking about. I currently work for this firm, and I'm very proud of being an employee at this firm. It's the best decision I've ever made, emotional health wise, career wise, because there's so much growth, you know, at that firm. And yeah, guys, then now we moved to 2023. I started permanently at that job, and now I could also balance between being a trainee auditor and also doing my foundation activities on the side. So I have a foundation called Empower the Youth, and it's basically based on, I mentioned earlier, tutoring, mentorship, you know, CSI projects. So I go to the different schools and encourage matriculants, because I know how it feels to feel like you are not capable, you know, to be told that, listen, you're not capable of actually doing that. You know, with trials and tribulations that I have faced, I was told by multiple people that, listen, you're faking your illness, or I don't understand how you expect us to believe you, you know. So it was quite difficult, you know. And being a student in high school, it's not really nice because children are just mean. So I gave them the tips. So when I go to high school, I give the matriculants or grade 11 study tips what worked for me, because I believe that yes, your success can be great, your success is wonderful, however it has a greater impact, it has a greater magnitude when we help people along the way, when we help those around us. If you see someone is struggling in something, I'm the type of person to volunteer. I want to help you, I want to make sure we cross this finish line together. And that has always been my passion. So I continued with my foundations work. And last year we hosted our first charity event where we had a fun day, at an orphanage. And it warmed my heart to know that I was able to do that with the support of my family, with the support of my friends, to just pursue that vision that I have for myself, to pursue the vision I have for the foundation. So in 2023 also, we had APC to prepare for. Whew, that is also another giant that took a toll on me, took a toll on all of us. And I just saw that, listen, it was a lot. So in 2023, when we prepared for the board exam, I was part of a board course that really helped me. I was on the APT board course, and guys, those people, I chose them because I went to UJ in undergrad, went to UJ in CTA, and I'm like, Soze, I'm not departing from these people. We are not breaking up. These people have carried me from first year. They're still gonna carry me until my last board exam, because listen, we've been through a lot with the UJ lectures, and I was not going to turn back, Shem. So I chose APT, and the board course is quite challenging, but it's also possible. And we're going to cover this in another video where we unpack the APC journey and unpack the tips that helped me. But with regards to what is impossible, with regards to what people say is difficult, not everybody's journey is the same. Not everybody's journey is going to look like yours. So we need to get to a point where we are the ones that decide what we can and cannot do, because you are the only person that can say the sky is the limit. You know where your limit is. The sky is determined by you, and only you can choose and actually choose to be that person you want to be. Show up for your future self, man. Show up. Because if it's not you, then who? So show up for yourself and be your biggest cheerleader, because with God, nothing is impossible. So now we're in 2024. February came. We waited for APC results. That day, I was gonna faint. I literally was shaking. I could not eat. I could not do anything, because this is the biggest board exam you will ever write. The CAs know that, listen, if you're aspiring to be a CA, this is the board exam that decides whether cycle will sign you off or not. So a lot was at stake. And by the grace of God, listen, it was only God, Shem. It was only God. And I will give glory to God every chance I get, because he carried me, and I passed. I passed the APC board exam, and I could not believe it. So currently, I am a third-year trainee at the audit firm that I mentioned. So that is basically my journey. And I wanted to share it with somebody today, because I don't know what you're going through. I don't know the trials and tribulations you've had, be it grief, be it losing a parent, be it financial troubles, be it the home that you come from. Listen, I always tell my students that, listen, you never let your circumstances become your identity. Never, ever let your past or your current situation define your future. You are the only person that can decide to rise above your challenges, and never, ever tell yourself that you are not good enough and you will not succeed. never let those words come out of your mouth. Life and death lie in the power of your tongue. So whatever you confess, it shall be so. So just remember that. Never limit yourself. Never ever say you cannot do something. Because what I noticed on this journey, you don't have to be smart, to be a doctor. You don't have to be smart to be an accountant or anything that you want to be. You just simply have to work hard, have perseverance, have determination. Take yourself seriously. Like I said, show up for yourself, man. Show up for your future self. You want that lifestyle, you want, that job. Show up for yourself today, and you will never go wrong with that. So this is the first part of our series in accounting, and I hope that this video did encourage someone who is actually on the CA journey, who is looking forward to being a corporate person, be it, in any field, any industry. Yeah, this is me, and I hope that this video has helped a lot of people. Until next time.